Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Taking Over. I am, of course, your Grinch, OLED Ed Fries, joined as always by the merry and bright, the natural Astrid Pizarro, doing her best to bring holiday delight to this Tuesday night Taking Over. We're headed to Texas, Astrid. I'll be honest, I never thought we'd say this, but we're heading to Booker T's promotion, Reality of Wrestling.
I was waiting to see what you would think about that.
Thankfully, with 0% Booker T. Yay. They had one commercial in the middle of the show for his training school, and that was it. I was very happy.
I was surprised.
We got the better half of the Booker T couple. We got Queen Sharmell, Sharmell Hoffman tonight. A couple times.
Yes.
The Queen, who obviously doesn't watch NXT, because if she did, Booker would no longer be married. She'd own that castle all by her onesie.
Oh yeah, very true.
But we're here in Texas City at the Texas Lawyer Arena, I believe it's called. Texas Ranger Lawyer Arena. I'll be honest, it was a weird name for a venue. They had an ad read for the lawyer, like the venue's named after like a law firm, and they had the ad read in the middle of the show. It seemed a bit odd. Like, it was weird. Commentary tonight. I don't have names for the two gentlemen, but I will say they're fairly entertaining. They have definitely learned the heel-face dynamic of commentary, because it was very clear we had the play-by-play babyface and the heel color commentator. This is a tried and true wrestling trope. I don't hate them for it. It's tried and true. It's worked everywhere for everything. It's the way you're going to do it. If you're going to do this and you're going to have a heel commentator, they need to be color commentator. Having a heel play-by-play person, as we found out when we had Michael Cole's heel run, is a bad idea.
It's gonna sound pretty odd, but I feel like the heel one reminded me of Corey Graves, because he's always picking like, oh, I'm picking this one, and then that one gonna admit, no, I'm picking this one. She's winning the whole thing, and then next match will happen. Oh no, I'm picking this one. It's like, which one is it? It's really gonna win then, because you picked everybody so far. But
it's very JB. I would say, to me, it wasn't Corey Graves necessarily as it was JBL. It was very JBL-esque. We're in Texas. Let's give it to JBL because he's the king. Him and Jerry Lawler are the kings of constantly changing their picks. Corey's a bit more... The one thing I'll give to Corey that's better than the team we had tonight is Corey never wanted to do this. He only ever wanted to be in the ring. And I think Corey Graves has done an admirable job of picking up everything from being on a panel, which is where they thought they were going to have him, to working day in and day out with Michael Cole at the PC, to become a color commentator, to work alongside, where he's now going to be working as announced today, back on Raw in January with Michael Cole. Good for them. They belong back on the Raw brand. But Corey was also, he's an underrated play-by-play guy. I like play-by-play Corey. Now, it's not my favorite play-by-play. He's far less interesting as a play-by-play guy than he is a color commentator. But I think the team of him and Wade Barrett was vastly underrated for how good that those two are together, because of the in-ring time that they've all had. Because I think that they really have a genuine friendship like he has with Michael. His best pairings are him and Michael and him and Wade, because I think that there's a genuine friendship there. And for anybody who's watched any amount of AAA, you can tell there's not that friendship when he works with Conan, because him and Conan are a bit dry together on the AAA commentary. But I think that's more old. I think that's more old man Conan and his let's DM everybody in the world about watching my Keep It 100 podcast. And if you haven't gotten a DM from Conan about watching his podcast, you really don't matter in the wrestling world. because everybody's gotten that DM.
It feels so weird to say so.
We've all gotten it.
Yeah, I have.
We're not here to talk about Conan. I mean, we are in Texas, so we could, but let's talk about Sherri Martel. This is indeed the Sherri Martel Classic for 2025. Last year won by Promise Braxton. Sherri Martel was a fantastic manager extraordinaire. She was also a ladies wrestler too. Let's not forget. But she's most well known by many people of at least my generation and probably yours of being a manager. She managed the likes of Harlem Heat and WCW, which is the connection here to Booker T and reality wrestling, but also Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, for one night at least, Kurt Angle. We did get He's a Sexy Kurt out of that. So
I was about to say, I remember that.
But yeah, no, she even, this is a little known one that Astrid might know that a lot of people don't know. Which TNA wrestler did she manage for in 2006 in TNA? You don't remember that? He's glorious.
Oh, I would have remembered.
Yeah, she apparently made an appearance in 2006 in TNA as the manager of Bobby Roode. Which, now that I think about it, I want to go back and watch that because that could have been really good.
Yeah.
But no, Sherri Martel was pivotal at helping people get over, especially with younger talent who needed that little bit of an edge. Not necessarily they needed somebody on the microphone, but they needed something. They needed that little bit of something. And with Harlem Heat, the reason why that worked is because she didn't need to be a mouthpiece for them. But at that point, they were kind of young in the business. They weren't the household names that they are now. So she really helped get them off the ground. In 92 and 93, helping a young-ish Shawn Michaels, a young to WWE Shawn Michaels in his early days of his singles career. And of course, the 3 years she did managing Randy Savage. Because people, I think, oftentimes forget that, Sherri managed Randy when there was that Elizabeth stuff going on. She was a part of that, and she was involved in that. Also, for a brief period, managed Ted DiBiase. So, Sherri Martel, fantastic women's figure. WWE needs to pay her more attention. And, if she's not in the Hall of Fame, which I don't believe she is, she needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking it up now. Oh, no, she is. I'm sorry, 2006.
Okay.
2006 WWE Hall of Fame. Okay, good job. Good job, WWE. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry, I lied. That's when she was inducted to the Hall of Fame by Ted DiBiase. Okay. Misreading Wikipedia. Happens to us all. We've all misread Wikipedia, I promise. Anyways, we're here for Reality of Wrestling. We're here for the Sherri Martel Classic 2025. Nice, pretty pink, purple belt. It's not bad. I'll be honest. It's better than the Luna Vachon trophy that Billy Starks won earlier in the year from JCW.
That's true. I like that more the title that they can at least carry somewhere, versus like the trophy is like I don't think they're really gonna take anywhere.
No. The trophy goes and sits on a. There should be a championship for them, and then there should be a trophy that they kind of give to you so you can have it as like a piece of thing, a lineage for yourself. This has an interesting tournament format. It has 6 singles matches to start. The winner of those 6 singles matches will break off into 2 triple threat matches. And the 2 winners of those triple threat matches will then break off into a singles match final to be crowned the Sherri Martel Classic champion. Some real fantastic names in this, but before we do that, let's get back to here. We got Grainmaker Podcast. Hey, Blair, how you doing? Nice to see you here. I do like that you're starting to see promotions start honoring some of these legendary women's wrestlers like Sherri Martel and JCW honoring Luna Vachon. Absolutely. We were very excited to cover the Luna Vachon JCW tournament. And I think this tournament has a little bit of a more unique format that I really enjoyed. But yeah, it's nice to see that other promotions can figure out the non-problematic women's people and do them as the ones we're going to hold up to the world. WWE. The Mae Young Classic is fine. We can bring that back. The person who used to have the Battle Royal at WrestleMania named after him, we won't talk about that one. That's Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. Actually, what did you think of the tournament here? The format.
Yeah, I think the format was really interesting. Just thinking about the fact that you have the two people in the final match that had wrestled. This is the third match of the night when they do face each other. So I thought that format was really interesting. But I like the formatting that they used here as well because they, especially commentary at some point, I'm gonna get to it when we get to that certain match. But I like how they like to tell us the history behind the first one, the first tournament that they do, because this is the second year they do it so far. But I like how they pointed out, it's like, oh, this person was in the tournament last year and they only got this far, and then this one got this far and they wanted to win, they almost won, but they did. And little details like that is what I like to see more from commentary during this whole tournament throughout the whole night.
Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and start right off the bat. You're going to notice a bit of a theme here, that one side of this bracket was really obvious and one side of this bracket was really loaded. Hopefully they do a bit better job next year of kind of evening out the brackets, because in bracket 1, we have Maya Wylde taking on Londyn Dior. I was very impressed with both of these young women. Londyn Dior is brand new to me. Never heard of her before, never seen her before. I was impressed with what she did in the ring here. For a split second, I thought, they might beat Maya Wylde. Then I went, no, this is Maya Wylde. She's not losing this.
It's funny how I thought, I had the same type of thought once I saw Maya. I went, yeah, I'm sorry, Londyn. I want you to succeed and continue on the tournament, but Maya's also a bigger name here, so it makes more sense for her to go at least to the next round or even to the finals if she can. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is definitely one of those. But I like the fact that even though we knew in our minds who the winner was, at the same time, Maya was able to help show off Londyn during this match. And they were really able to show off each other really throughout this. And I really like the fact that we get that balance here from both of them, too.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the way that Londyn Dior looked. Like I said, I really liked Londyn Dior in this match. I thought she really showed up and showed out for the opportunities that she was given here. I think she really impressed. And believe it or not, of all the people on this show, because most of the typical suspects are people I already know and enjoy watching their work. We've talked about Maya Wylde more than once on this show. We love Maya Wylde here. We know that we think the world of Maya Wylde. I'm sorry, I had to. Monica Monroe, Gigi Ray they're not new to me and you. We've known Gigi Ray we've been watching Gigi Ray with our Canadian connections. We've been watching Gigi Ray for a great many years. Monica Monroe is somebody I've seeked out before because of the fact that I enjoy the tag team of Moneybirds.
Moneybirds, yeah.
I do like the Moneybirds tag team. It also makes me think of Beer Money for some reason. I don't know why Moneybirds makes me think Beer Money, but it does.
I see that.
And of course, who hasn't heard of and seen Tiffany Nieves work? Whether it be promo work, whether it be in-ring work, everybody knows who TVMA Tiffany Nieves is. So she's no surprise to anybody, which is why I was very excited that I think Londyn Dior is my one to watch for the entire tournament, because I think she's a breakout star.
Yay! At least somebody has some spirit.
I told you, bah humbug. That's okay, STG. You typically ask really good questions when you think they're a dumb question. So go ahead and do that. But like I said, Maya Wylde picks up the win here. It wasn't a long match, but it did exactly what it needed to do. It makes Maya Wylde look great. It gives Londyn Dior something to look forward to, and somebody that we can keep our eyes on and focus on as a potential breakout star later on. While we wait for STG to go ahead and get his question in, we're going to go ahead and talk about match number 2, which was Tyra Mystii taking on, and I'm going to use Emily Maier's pronunciations here to make sure I get this right, Kalientita.
Good job.
So yes, Tyra Mystii, gold medalist, NXT star. Tyra Mystii taking on Kalientita. What did you think of this match? And SCG, we'll get to your question right after the end of this match.
The one thing I would say that really bothered me about this is that before this, it's an interview with her backstage. They do a couple interviews between the show, which I like the flow of it. Yeah, I like the flow of it because it wasn't just like match. It will be like a match, and then we'll get an interview or something backstage and another match, and so it will give us a break in between. But we also get to know the people within the tournament, even if they lost, which I'm glad that it wasn't just the winners of the particular matches. So I like that formatting. But the one thing that irritated me here is like, I know she's young, and I know she is not particularly wrestling world, to put it like that. But the fact that Tyra gets interviewed and she says she had to Google Sherri Martel, I went,
yeah.
No way she did it. No, she didn't just say that.
Not only that, they talk about later on in one of the matches that Tyra Mystii had to be talked into wrestling the wrestling that she won an Olympic gold medal for by her sister. I'm like, and she won LFG. She won
and
LFG.
I was like, I understand if you didn't have any knowledge of her prior to being a part of the tournament. I understand that part because she's young. Like I said, not part of the wrestling world in WWE like this. But I wouldn't say that out loud either and say, oh, I had to Google her. Don't say that. I would just say, oh, yeah, Sherri was a great figure. She did this and that. Like, show the knowledge that you learned from the Google search. Don't say that you Googled her, though.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, honey.
So that part really bothered me because I was like, I know she's probably younger than me too, but I'm like, even I know about Sherri from the sexy Kurt thing. So it's like, at least I know she was a manager too, even if I didn't watch it. Even I wasn't particularly like an active watcher at the time, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I Google Sherri. I didn't have to Google her. And just like that part irritated me more than anything. So I was like not in the great mindset already going into this match. But the one I was more, even though Tyra, I know her from NXT and things like that, but I was more familiar with a little bit more Kalientita than I did with Tyra. So at the same time, I was like, oh, it would be cool if Kalientita won this match. Because I know she's a small, I wouldn't say smaller talent, but you know what I mean, but the platform that she has. So that was my whole mindset. But then I thought, oh, Tyra's from NXT, so she's probably gonna win the match. And I was like, dang it, I really wanted Kalientita to get the spotlight here. But I like the submission they had here with each other, the back and forth between both submissions they had. But again, it was one of those like short, really matches. But it just felt like Kalientita, you can tell, was more experienced than Tyra was in this match, and that's why I was still hoping that Kalientita would win it. So I don't want to say disappointed, but it is what it is, and it's an NXT name, so it makes more sense for them to win the match. But I would have preferred if Kalientita had won it.
The frenetic pace of that interview from Tyra Mystii, like, wow. And by the way, Tyra Mystii is the most bipolar wrestler, not like in personality, but not in like as a person, but like personality wise on this show. Was the most bipolar wrestler I've ever seen. And yeah, I put that up while you were talking because I agreed. Also, hi, Conrad. We greatly appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for showing up. Like, she had a frenetic babyface pace here in the promo, and I was like, ooh, I don't necessarily like this. Like, I don't think it fits your gimmick. I don't think it fits the character. I don't even think I feel like it's really you. I feel like it's all such an act that it felt fake. And we know a ton of wrestlers who aren't the person that they portray. There's 100 of them that don't work the way they are. Your best heels are probably some of the nicest people in the world. So watching Tyra, and again, I don't watch Evolve every week anymore, so I don't see her often enough. But I didn't love the frenetic pace of the interview. I liked the match. The match was good. The match was actually really good for considering how green she is in the business. I will say, however, that the finish that Tyra Mystii has of that inverted angle slam into like a cutter, chef's kiss. Love it. Keep that. Keep that shit right there, Tyra Mystii, because that's money. That thing is, yes, John Cena. I love John Cena. Don't get me wrong. I'm one of the bigger John Cena fans in this group. However, John Cena is as problematic as he is great. He is a wonderful person, but his worldview is a bit twisted. We'll leave it at that.
I'll give one that's good as a heel, Kevin Owens, but when you meet him in person, totally different from that.
Sweetheart, yes, absolutely. I was going to say Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I think Seth is a fantastic douchebag heel on television. And then if you meet him, most of the time, he's a wonderful person.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss Sherri as a performer. I think she was great. Yes, she helped sell the WrestleMania 7 angle with Shawn Michaels. I agree. We went a little bit into depth into Sherri, and I believe Bobby and Papa Smokes have done a show on Ring Respect Radio at some point, in deep dive on Sherri Martel at some point. She's a fantastic character if you really want to get. She helped kickstart the career of some of the biggest stars. And she wasn't the world's greatest manager, but she did everything she needed to do to help these people get over on television in a big way. And for that, she will forever be missed because she was sensational, to steal a pun, at what she did. Tyra Mystii gets the win. It's a good match. I'm looking forward to seeing what Tyra does beyond this because, ironically, things that Tyra does later are way more impressive than anything she did here. We get another interview after this. I believe this is the point where we got the interview with Tiffany Nieves, if I remember correctly. Right?
I have a Gigi.
Oh, is this the Gigi interview? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to remember which order they went in, and I was like, I don't remember if Gigi went before or after Tiffany in the interview portions.
No, Tiffany's before her match.
Okay. Gigi cuts a really good promo here. It's there's nothing special. There's nothing fantastic. There's nothing standout about it, but it's a good quality promo by a babyface. By the way, the title that they have here for that Reality of Wrestling Glory Championship, chef's kiss. Love it. Fantastic looking championship. Keep it. It's beautiful. More companies should have beautiful titles like that title. And then we get to Tia McKenzie versus my least favorite person on the entire card. Not for her in-ring ability. She's fantastic in the ring. Love it. Chef's kiss. Top notch. Her in-ring work is sensational. Her character work is sensational. I hate her from the moment she appeared on my TV screen to the moment I had to finally got to stop watching her. Rachel's Chanel number 5 is one of the most infuriatingly good young talents I've seen in a long time. That outfit she wore tonight was atrocious. It's hideous. It's like a petticoat styled skirt, but it's only like 3 inches tall. And then she's got the fucking cutouts on like the random side, but it's not like even cutouts on like the side of the body. Like one of them's down at the bottom and then like one of them's a bit higher on the side. And the whole outfit it was an eyesore to me. I'm sure it's high fashion. I'm sure it looks good. To me, it was an eyesore, and I instantly hated everything about her. From everything she did, I just wanted to hate her. So, good job, heel, because you did what you needed to do. I love the match, though. This match is really good. She's so talented for somebody as young as she is. She's a former women's champion here in Reality of Wrestling, which I can tell by the way she works. I can completely see that. Like I said, I really enjoy
Sorry,
all.
you said young, and I had to look up her age because I've been wondering about her age. You won't believe how old she is.
Please tell me she's not over 30. Really? I wouldn't put her over 25. I thought she was in her early 20s.
No.
How long has she been working?
8 years, since 2017.
So she's not even young in the business. Like, she's been. How have I never heard of her before?
You haven't? I've seen her in AEW Dark before.
That would explain why I haven't heard of her, because she's been on a. But I've heard of a lot of the dark talent. Like, the dark talent are normally people I hear about in AEW. I've never heard of her before. And also, I love the fact that everywhere in Astrid's notes for this, there's no mention of the fact that she's Rachel Chanel number 5. You just have her as Rachel Chanel everywhere. And I'm like, no, you don't drop the Chanel number 5 reference. There's a reason. There's a reason why that's a reference, and it's important to her character.
I'm not going to put that everywhere in my notes. I ain't got time for that.
Why not?
Anyway, you want to guess her age?
It's 2 characters. If she's over 30, she can't be more than 31. Oh my God. Oh my God.
She's 39.
You know what? She looks damn good for 39. Good for you, Miss Rachel. Proud of you. You go get that bag, baby.
It's just the fact that you said the young part, and that stood out to me because I was like, I know I've seen her in AEW Dark before, and I was like, that was around the pandemic, so I'm like, it's been a few years at least. So I was like, I had to look about how old she is and how long she's been in the business, and that just really got me. Sorry, I had to. Don't forget you're muted, just in case.
You're all set. You can go ahead and talk now. I'm thoroughly embarrassed.
Well, she's not young in any way, shape, or form, but
at least I'm on the right side of this. Whereas I'm calling her young is what you're supposed to do to a lady, so it's okay.
But this is what made me realize about when I saw the tournament bracket. Like you said, there was some aspects of it. Like you see Maya and Londyn, and then Maya's like the veteran here, and they see Tyra, Main, and Kalientita. Kalientita's more like the veteran compared to Tyra, and then you have her and Tia, and I think if I'm mistaken, Rachel probably has more experience. And like Gigi and Mystii, then I think Gigi's the one with a little more experience. So it's like it has a little bit of both here, and I like the fact that they're able to like showcase that. No, I like the Rachel character is not my type of character, but I would say she's the type of person that I like how she's so into her character where she's doing it. That she's so great at that, and not that she's a favorite of mine or anything like that, but I know of her. And she stands out as well because you see her with her outfits like that, and there's no way you can forget about her after you've seen her. So it's like that shows you how great of a character work she does. And I like the fact that she's really, I don't want to say quick because she's not particularly quick, but she's like in between there. And I like how she is able to show off herself and her opponent as well. But in the end, as I figured, I was like, she's the one with the experience here. And I would be surprised if she loses this. So Rachel wins in the end. No, forget to mute yourself again.
I hit the button too many times because I wanted to talk and then I had to cough. No, I like I said, I respect the hustle on the gimmick because, like I said, while I hate the character, I love the work put into it. Like I said, she is fantastic in everything she did. Top-notch work there. She was great. And by the way, I think she killed. Yeah, who doesn't love Maya World? I discovered Maya World this year. I'll be honest. I'm late to the whole Maya World party, but I'm all in on her getting an AEW contract. Her and Hyan need to get signed to Ring of Honor, and they need to do it now because they need those graphics. I want to also say that the Rachel Chanel interview was probably the best interview, with the exception of maybe the Tiffany Nieves interview. But then again, Tiffany Nieves is really good at doing the Tiffany Nieves thing. So it's hard to top her, but I thought Rachel Chanel was really good at that part too. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's see. Where do we go now? Oh, yes. This is where we get the Queen Sharmell interview where she talks about the tournament getting everything going. She talks about Sherri's history. She talks about how much she means to Booker because of the Harlem Heat connection and how important she was in Booker's career, which again, like we talked about, it's how important she is. And Sharmell talks about how she needs to keep advocating for women's wrestling and continuing to push women's wrestling here in reality wrestling. And they have really good women's wrestlers here. Like, this is just 12 people, 10 of which who are on their roster pretty much full time. And then, you know, a handful of, you know, a couple of sprinkles from the NWA and NXT, things like that. And I do love the fact that she's keeping her eye on Tyra Mystii, because of course she is, because NXT's sending you down there, so you got to say nice things about their talent. And then she keeps getting in on Tiffany because of the thing that we saw earlier in the show with the whole yelling, screaming match before the show. So I like that they're continuing that through here. But she's basically playing it up. She's like, oh, I'm not really rooting for Tiffany. I mean, like, good luck to her, and I hope she wins and does all the things, but like, I hope she loses too. Tyra Mystii's gold medal goes missing. She talks to, I believe, a wrestling police officer. I'm going to say he's a wrestler for reality of wrestling. I hope he is, because if they were trying to portray him as an actual wrestler, don't do that. I did not buy him as a real. He looked like Wish.com Brian Keith. Like, he looked like Wish.com Brian Keith. Brian Keith is great. This guy looked like a real knockoff version of him. So, but nice for this young man to get on television. Good for him. He tells them that we're going to get to the bottom of this. And then he pulls out the handcuffs like he's going to handcuff Tyra, which confused me. But then we get to one of the better things on this entire show. Gigi Ray taking on Mystii Marks. Mystii Marks is another talent I wasn't familiar with. Loved her work in this match. Thought she was fantastic. But Astrid, talk to us about the winner of this match, the reality of wrestling women's glory champion, Gigi Ray.
I mean, we already watched a little bit of Gigi, so it's still great to see her like thriving in Texas the way she is. So this was fun to watch. I hadn't seen her wrestle in quite a bit at this point, but I like the fact that she has that one mission in mind, just thinking, I just need to get a pin, and that's it. That's how I get to win this, so might as well try to get for it, and always try to go for something a little bit lower and try to do a couple pin attempts every now and then that she could, and the crucifix kind of bomb as well that she did. So those type of things, I like that she was more focused on that type of thing in the whole match. It's like, if I can end this quicker, even better, because I have another match to go, and that's a good strategy to have as well, because if like I said, if you're in the finals, you have competed in 3 matches in one night, so might as well take the early one and try to cut it as short as you can. So I like that kind of mentality that she has here. I like how powerful really Mystii is, because at one point Gigi goes for the crossbody and she counters in such a way that was just amazing to watch. That's what I thought. Oh, this is what I like to see, this kind of powerhouse thing versus the Gigi being a little bit more like almost like a faster and almost type of high flyer person. But yeah, I loved it. And yeah, Gigi just wins by a roll up later, because it makes sense, to do something like this in a tournament.
It's a great way to continue the story of Gigi came up short last year. She lost to Promise Braxton in the finals. She wants this. She needs this. This is really the last thing you need to go ahead and, finish out her reality of wrestling resume. She's already won the Glory Championship. She's already tag team champions with Lady Bird. So it's, this is all she's got left on her resume. She wants to check this off. So she's, like you said, doing the smart thing. Just no big, huge moves from Gigi, just confident, basic stuff to get the win, to get it as quickly as possible. And I love the shock roll through victory here, where it saves Mystii, because Mystii doesn't look bad because she kind of just got rolled up and got caught off guard. I love that, because we'll get the interview later with Mystii Marks later on, where she's like, look, you saw what happened. I got caught. It was 3 seconds. And she's not making excuses. She's not yelling about a referee. She's not any of that. She's pissed at herself for losing. And she understands she lost and she got caught. And all it takes is 3 seconds. And that's the kind of thing that you want in a tournament like this, a one-night tournament. somebody needs to play this character, and I think more people need to do it more often. In the old WWF King of the Ring days, when the King of the Ring used to be a one-night tournament in WWF, way back in the day where they'd have like qualifying matches and then everything would happen on the night and the whole pay-per-view would be geared around it. There would always be people who would be doing that thing, trying to constantly get pins, try to get the win. So Gigi doing that here was great. This is the aforementioned Rachel interview where Rachel Chanel comes in here, and God, she is a character. Love to hate this lady, because my God, I keep saying young because every time I look at her, she looks young to me. So I'm like, this young lady, because she's still younger than me, but like I feel like she's significantly younger than me. Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, but people like Adam Cole, one-night tournaments, just do the thing, get the win. Yeah, Adam Cole is exactly one of those kinds of guys. This Rachel interview was fantastic. And it ends with her like trying to push Emily Mayer off the TV screen, but also wanting to keep the camera there so that she can do her hair in the camera and all that kind of fun stuff and get herself ready for her next match. Again, chef's kiss on the work. You done fantastic, Rachel. Top notch. God, I'm never going to forget her. Like, I may want to see more of Londyn Dior. I might want, like, she might be my one to watch, but I am never going to forget Rachel Chanel #5 because that whole thing is just burned in my mind for the best and worst reasons too. Like, I legitimately want her to get booked up here just so I can boo her, because that's how I feel right now. It's just sensational. Yeah. And then we get Lady Bird, not Bird Lady. This is Lady Bird. It's a difference. This is not Lyra Valkyria. This is the opposite of Lyra Valkyria. Mm-hmm. This is the best Monroe in wrestling, Monica Monroe. Well, she's now a champion, and the other Monroe's not, so it is what it is. Taking on Kaylia Capri. I love the story that they're telling on commentary here with Monica Monroe. But why don't you go deeper into that actual story that they're telling in this match?
Yeah, I particularly love commentary in this match, and a little bit later on that I'll speak about when it gets to that part. Because of this storyline here, the fact that they say if Monica does advance, she's going to end up facing her partner, Gigi Ray. It's like, are they willing to pin one another, whichever it is, to be able to advance in the tournament? So I think this is very interesting storyline as well, because later on, Monica has an interview, and she said that in the first year, last year, she actually got eliminated in the first round. So she has that mentality. It's like, I want to do better than I did last year. So I like that mentality that she has within this match here. And Kayla is also somebody, which is another thing that happened with this match. When I saw the lineup, I thought Lady Bird has to win this one because Kayla has less experience than Monica does. And like I said, that particular story between her and Gigi makes it interesting going into the next round of the tournament as well. So I was like, I love the fact that they said, even commentary, they said she's always the bridesmaid to Gigi, who's the bride. So that was always very interesting. I love the way that she's able to show off her gymnast background in this match, though. It reminded me of more of a little bit of like Tiffany shows off in what she was in NXT, showing off a lot of that gymnastics background. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that was really well done by her in this match. But overall, really fun. This is the first time I've heard about her, but this is the first like official match I get to watch like her as a singles competitor. And I was really like beyond, like, I want to see more of Monica like this, because I'm used to seeing her with Gigi, but I want to see her by herself more often.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm very familiar with Monica Monroe, but only in the vein of being in a tag team, of doing the thing with Gigi Ray, not seeing her by herself. Commentary was sensational. They shined during this match, going ahead and, like you said, giving us the story of Monica Monroe and telling us that this is what we're going to get throughout the rest of this tournament, is this idea of Monica Monroe not coming up in the big moments. Monica Monroe always kind of being that runner-up. I love that story. Those such an easy, great story to tell, especially for a babyface like a Monica Monroe here. Just being able to do that story. And this match isn't anything fantastic. It's nothing. I won't say it's anything fantastic. It's nothing surprising. There's no big, huge spots. Monica hits that fantastic swanton reminds me exactly of Jeff Hardy. It's got that big swanton. I love the name. It's the oh crap, I just forgot the name.
I'll try to look it up if you think.
No, it's in your notes somewhere. It's not here. No, you just have it as the no, you just have it as the moon salt. I'm sorry. Bird's eye. That's it. The bird's eye view. I love that name. It's so simple, but also it's so great. It's just like it's a great little move. It's a great little idea. Love it to death. Love her. Like I said, I've loved this tag team for a while. It does exactly what it needs to do. It does all the things it needs to do. Monica gets the big win. That puts her in the next round. And now we've got Tiffany versus we've got Gigi in the round. We've got Monica in the round. The only person we haven't seen wrestle yet is Tiffany. Let's be honest, she's not losing. So we know one side is going to be Tiffany Nieves, Monica Moneybird, Lady Bird Monroe, and Gigi Ray. Like, that's stacked. And on the other side, we have Rachel Chanel number 5. Fine. Tyra Mystii. Fine. Maya World. Okay. We kind of know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Which is why I said they need, I think what should have happened is Tyra Mystii or Rachel Chanel should have been on the other side of the bracket. Yep. So that you have the Gigi and Monica story on one side. And then you have, I think I would have done Rachel Chanel. If I were them and I'm rebooking this tournament, I move Rachel Chanel's match to the other side of the bracket. Because then you have Tyra Mystii, Tiffany Nieves, and Maya World. You have the unsigned but tightly linked AEW talent of Maya World. The NWA Women's Television Champion and one half of the NWA Women's Tag Team Champions in Tiffany Nieves. And you have the NXT gold medalist and LFG winner Tyra Mystii. Like, that evens out that side of the bracket so that you don't know who's coming out of that side. Yep. And you can still do the same thing you do. Like, you, and we'll talk about that more as we go through the next round of matches. But I think you can still do all the things you did in this tournament by switching those two matchups from flipping them on their sides, and nothing really changes.
Yep.
It just makes things a little bit more predictable. It makes things a little less predictable. And less predictability, the better when we get to wrestling. This is where we have the Tiffany interview. TVMA was on full display here. It was great. I love Tiffany Nieves. She's fantastic. For all of the reasons, the obvious and the ring work. Like, let's just be honest. There's a reason why Tiffany Nieves is a lot of people's favorites. She's doing fantastic work. She's one of the only reasons why I keep my eyes peeled on the NWA results is because I need to keep seeing what she's doing. And she takes on Mandy Wylde here, who was my favorite of the other people. Like, there's a lot of talent who are people I go, okay, this is a good young talent, but I didn't have a lot of interest in Kalientita. I didn't have a ton of interest in Tia. I really like Londyn Dior. I think she's great. But Mandy Wylde is right up Wylde's alley. Like, she's the character that they were like, oh, look, Wylde's watching the show. Mandy Wylde's here for you. Apparently taking the spot that was supposed to be given to the reigning defending Sherri Martel Classic champion Promise Braxton. So that was interesting because why I would wish they would have gone a little bit more in depth into the why she wasn't involved, whether it was an injury, whether it was like a booking decision, like even if it was like she couldn't make the date, like give us a more viable reason other than something happened and Mandy took Braxton's spot.
Yeah, but I like that in commentary here, adding that part of the story here because they're like, she wasn't even supposed to be here to begin with. So I was like, does she really belong in this tournament? And having that type of story going against somebody like Tiffany, who has a lot of experience here, and it's one of those things like Tiffany's able to overpower her in so many aspects here. I like the name of the submission here for Tiffany. The Royal Seats is what they call this, so that was fun to watch too. But I think I don't remember if it was something happening with the match itself, something about a referee and previous match, and that's why Mandy was there. It's what they mentioned, but I feel like they could have either showed us like a video package or something like that going ahead of it, and I feel like that would make me, oh, okay, interesting. She wasn't even supposed to be here to begin with, and to give me a little bit more of a visual to it. Being that you never know, like I mentioned this before too, like when Bobby was talking to us about PBW, it's like if somebody's a first viewer, this is a good introduction to something like this. But I like the fact that it's like like you said, seeing the names here, we automatically knew Tiffany was gonna win it. But too, it was one of those matches that was really entertaining to watch either way. And Mandy was one that really stood out to me too, going forward into this, because I knew of her name, but I hadn't seen her wrestle, and now this is the first time I watched her wrestle officially.
Yeah, I didn't know of the name or had seen her wrestle yet. I'm in. I think she's a knockoff Nikki Blackheart, which is a knockoff Rhea Ripley. And that's no slight to Nikki Blackheart. I adore Nikki Blackheart and everything that she does, and I can't wait to review some of her matches. But like Mandy Wylde feels like it's that next step down from like a Nikki Blackheart, Rhea Ripley. Like she's got that same kind of vibe to her. But I thought she was fantastic here. I thought it better than anything else in this match for her was the selling. I thought her selling was top notch. I really enjoyed her selling. It made all the things that Tiffany was doing that much better. The royal seat as the name for the figure 4 crab thing, sensational. Especially with the whole Charlotte Flair like queen thing. I love the idea that even Charlotte Flair just goes figure 8 and just continues training off of her dad. And Tiffany's like, nope, I'm going to take the royalty thing out of this as opposed to the queen. It's just chef's kiss. Such a great job. Such shit heel work for Tiffany Nieves in the best way possible. Like, she's that dirty, nasty, like, I'll do whatever it takes to get the win kind of heel. And every tournament needs that. Every wrestling promotion needs that. And she's so good at it because she's so likable, like, in her face. If she wanted to be, she could be an incredibly likable person. I feel like there's a part of who she is in her personality that draws you in. And then she turns on as I like to call it with people in real life and especially with wrestlers, she flips the bitch switch. And you get this just royal, annoying piece of pain in the ass, good-looking girl who's just like, I'm better than you, female version of an MJF kind of thing. I'm better than you, and you know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. And you're not good enough to be here. Like her talking about how her being the TV champion means that she runs television. And I'm like, that's so good. And I'm like, WWE needs her just because for once I need to hear Booker T talking about an actual television champion. So, like, I want to see her pop up in NXT like once so that we can hear Booker, because we always talk about how Booker T talks about how Lexis King is the king of TV, and there's no TV title in NXT. And I'm like, can you imagine the run of nonsense Booker T would go on with one, Tiffany Nieves, period, and two, Tiffany Nieves in NXT with a television championship? Like, Booker T would lose his fucking mind, and it'd be great.
That's true.
Because I would rant about it for 10 minutes. Love this match. Tiffany gets the win. I feel like the Eat Defeat is kind of a letdown after watching the royal seat. I feel like just having a basic Eat Defeat, like, it needs a special name. Kiss the Foot. It needs something. It needs some kind of a special name. Like, if she's going to continue going with this royalty gimmick, I say Kiss My Feet, I think is the best one. But she gets the big win. We're ready for the second round. This is where we get the Monica interview where she talks about going further than she did last year. She talks about how she's an underdog, which again is kind of funny considering she's a tag team champion. You know, she's a star in this promotion, but she's never really done any of that in the singles division. And she's in the backseat to her tag team partner, Gigi Ray. So I love that going into it. We get Sherilyn Guerrero coming out to commentate the next two matches, which is fine. there's always room for more Guerreros in professional wrestling, especially in Texas. Like there's just more room for them. She tries to do the Eddie Guerrero shoulder shuffle. She's got to work on it a bit. She's getting there.
That shimmy there.
She's still training. She's a couple months into her training for them. She's gonna get there. You gotta give her some time, but she's got the basics down. You know, for those that don't know, Sherilyn Guerrero is indeed one of the young. I believe she's the youngest child of Eddie Guerrero.
Yep.
She is, by the way, the second of his daughters to try their hands at the professional wrestling thing, because as we all know, I always call him Aiden English, and I never remember his TNA name to save my life.
Matthew.
Yes, but Ray Wylde. That's his last name. Yeah. Matt Ray Wylde, obviously is married to Shaw Guerrero, who is Eddie Guerrero's oldest daughter. And she did, ironically, she did work in NXT before NXT was NXT, when it was FCW. She did a lot of work over there. And she was relatively good at it, but she was never... Yes, it is me, STG. I kind of wish she never gave it up. Like, I get why she did. Her mental health was taking a hit, and you always prioritize your mental health. And being the daughter of Eddie Guerrero, being the first to try, is such a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to have a sit-down conversation, like me, Ava, and Shaw, and talk about like what it's like for two young women who are having a hard time coming out of the shell of their father. Because I know SGG is not a fan, but me and Astrid are actually really big fans of the work Ava's done. I think her in-ring work was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular. I think she's done a really good job of being the GM on NXT. But she's very clearly, I trust me, I remember these things. But she's very clearly not in the same realm as her dad. You know, and it's tough. Like, when your dads are Eddie Guerrero and Dwayne Johnson, it's hard to be in the same realm. Hello, Hanson Game Program Tyrell. I'm going to call you Tyrell. Sorry, I just... happy holidays. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. I would love to sit down, interview with the two of them, and to just talk about the struggles and how hard it is to be, in the industry where your parents are so, the odds of the kids being able to match it. It's not even so much that they're not living up to that. Like, but he's not an exception. Like Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Randy Orton, Miles Bourne. Like, these are all people who are second and third generation superstars who really do the thing. And by the way, if you caught the joke in there, good job. Because Astrid missed it. Oh, shit. Yes, your earlier question. Oh, Astrid, he likes your hat. Yay. Yes, I am the bah humbug. I do not have the thing. All right. Before we get into the second round, let's go back and answer SGX ones, because I did forget these.
Yeah.
Do other indie promotions in schools get higher end talent based on promotion and school talent? Yes. All wrestling schools have talent who teach at their schools who help bring in talent. I will speak to specifically Chaotic, because it's the one I know the most. But like at Chaotic Wrestling, it's run... it's the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. And Nepwa is taught by a variety of people, but Octarus runs that. Donovan Dijak is a coach there. Chase Del Monte is a coach there. And it helps bring in talent, because these are names who can go out and about in the independent world whenever they work places and bring in people like a Big Trouble Ben Bishop, who just started working with Chaotic recently. And their sister promotion, Rad Pro Wrestling. Dijak goes around the world wrestling, so he's able to bring in talent from around the world based on that, and can help get his talent that he's teaching opportunities in other places. And yes, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in the World of Wrestling school that he runs down there in Texas City, Texas, will indeed, because of the connection to Booker T, be able to bring in names like a Hollywood Holly J or a Maya World, who again, Maya World is a bit of a different thing because she's from the Dallas, Texas area. She's probably a former student here. But remember, they can go off the backs of a thing like a Roxanne Perez, who is trained by a Booker T, who did all kinds of work like that. You know, there are things that they can do. All wrestling schools use their great talent to help bring in new talent and to help bring talent in from around the country. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of great independent talent teaching at wrestling schools, running seminars. Alex Kane does a bunch of seminars. Dijak does seminars. Richard Holiday, the dickhead that he is, you know, on screen, runs seminars to help teach the future talent how they do things. Yeah, no, it's exactly what you think it would be. It's every school utilizes who works in their school, who runs their school, and the talent that you build out of those schools to help bring in new students and to bring in new talent to your promotion. So it's why a lot of wrestling it's why a lot of wrestling promotions, especially now, are doing things like that. In the Canadian scene, we know PPW has their own wrestling school where they're helping bringing in talent via that. Clandestine Society has their own wrestling school that helps run out of LPW. So every promotion kind of has that wrestling school that they're linked to. And, you know, Reality of Wrestling has the bigger advantage of being a WWE ID talent school. They have that WWE ID program behind them. So those talent are getting extra looks from the Gabe Sapolskys and everybody else in that program to help them move forward. I'm going to stop talking now as Ashley wants to get out of here quickly tonight, and I'm just yammering on about things that don't matter. And she's looking at me going, "Clock, sir, clock."
I'm getting text messages. How long are you going to be there for?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're not telling lies.
Speaking of Roxanne. All right. So we get to the most predictable of the two triple threat matches. Tyra Mystii taking on Maya World, taking on Rachel Chanel #5. I keep wanting to say Rochelle because I feel like there's a letter missing for Rachel, but they did pronounce it Rachel. Tyra Mystii gets her gold medal stolen. Mid-match, we find out that somebody stole Tyra's medals. She runs off like she's Bianca Belair, trying to figure out what happened to Jade Cargill. Topical reference. I love it. The rest of this match is just really good. It's just kind of bare bones, basic, really good stuff. Maya World and Rachel are fantastic talents. Maya gets the win with the All Around the World. It's a great move. I love Maya World. But Maya was obviously always going to win this. Like, and again, this is where I think if you had a Tiffany Nieves in this match, because spoiler alerts, Tiffany loses the next match. Like, she's not the winner of the next match. You can still have her lose, but it makes this match so much harder to call if you have both Tiffany and Maya in this match after Tyra Mystii runs off. Like, I really think that's a missed opportunity here from Reality of Wrestling. What do you think, Ashton?
Yeah, this one, at the same time, I'm glad they kept it between, I want to say Rachel because I keep saying that now, and Maya because they have the most experience, and I feel like they work better with each other than they would have with Tyra, who doesn't have a lot of experience here. And at the same time, it looks like she'll keep that storyline going about the gold medal as well moving forward. But like you said, it's like the only thing about this match is that it just felt predictable because Maya was going to win, being the bigger name out of the three here. But either way, I like how Maya and Rachel are able to still work it out. And they still have a great match with each other. It's just one of those things like, the other scenario I would have done, but I feel like it would have been too predictable, would have been doing the Tyra thing in the Monica and Gigi one, because that will obligate Monica and Gigi to actually face off with each other. But either way, I like the scenario, like you said, of having somebody else being in the match there to make it less predictable, and I feel like that's something that was missing here towards the finals. Don't die on me.
No, almost. I'm good. This is where we get the Mystii interview that we talked about earlier, how she's getting everything that's owed to her and how she feels slighted because she knew she had this and she lost it. It makes a lot of sense, and it makes Mystii look great going on because, again, you don't always have to go over to keep your story rolling, to keep the good news rolling, to keep yourself looking strong and being a contender. She lost, and she comes out of this probably as one of the people I think that's right up there in the top of the title picture for all these things. We move on to the best match of the night. I'll be honest. I'm sorry. I like the main event, but this is the best match of the night, I think. Tiffany Nieves taking on Gigi Ray, taking on Monica. Astrid, tell me about it. What you got?
Yeah, this one's the one that, even with the three big names, I do like the story of like somebody like Tiffany being a champion and being involved here, but you still have the storyline of the tag team being here and tag team champions being here. And you at first see them like teaming up with each other, so you don't know how long they're gonna actually be teaming up with each other within the match to take on Tiffany. But I like the fact that it just happens as a surprise out of nowhere. I think Gigi's the first one that kind of does a roll up on Monica, if I remember correctly. And I like that storyline here of like Gigi's like, this is the one thing I have left on my resume that I want to accomplish. And then Monica said, I gotten further than I did last year, but I still want to win and do better. And I like all these storylines all together within this whole match. And that was my favorite thing about this particular three-way here. And I like the fact that Monica's the one that wins it at the end too. Just thinking of like, I like her storyline is so powerful of like, I did better than I did last year, and I still want to continue on this process to and be able to be at the finish line here and do up into the end. And it's just nice to see that happening here.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about this is that Tiffany didn't feel like an afterthought in any of that. She was her own character. Everything Tiffany Nieves came out during this match. The whole character of her being the TV star and being everything else. She held up her end of the bargain while also being that third piece to make this match kind of work the way it needed to. Was sensational. Monica gets the win. She gets the big win. She pins Gigi to do it. Like, I'm looking forward to a storyline between the two of them at some point. Because spoiler alert for the main event and for future things. Monica wins the whole tournament. She gets the opportunity against Holly J, and she wins the reality of wrestling women's championship from Haley J. So they're both now singles champions, and I'm like, there's money in a winner take all Gigi versus Monica match in the future.
So there's money in the Money Birds. The irony.
There's always been money in the Money Birds. We get the Tiana promo where she's I'm sorry, it's not a promo. She gets her ass beat by Tyra Steele. And then somebody walks out from the back and hands her the medal. I'm like, why didn't Tiana have the medal that she stole? Like, it kind of made no sense. Sharmell comes out. She has the championship for the winner. They announce that the winner faces Haley J for the title. This match is sensational. This match is really good. I really enjoyed everything about this. These are two incredibly talented women. The only reason why I knew how this match was going to go is because I'd already seen the result of how this match was going to go. Had I not known going into it, I would have fallen for some of these Maya near falls, especially the one where she hits Maya around the world. When she hit the finish, I was like, I know Monica wins, and I still thought Monica might lose.
Yep.
I do love how we're in reality of wrestling. We're in the place where Roxanne Perez got the move. And yet we're still calling it a code red.
Yep, I thought the same thing.
I'm like, we can't just call it a Pop Rocks just for the fun of it to do the little shout out to Roxanne Perez. Come on, commentary. You're better than that. You should do this. Bird's eye view and a code red for the big win for Monica. I love this. This match is fantastic. like I said, the only reason why this isn't match of the night is because the story in the triple threat with Monica, Gigi, and Tiffany being there too. Because I could have seen them getting involved and then Tiffany stealing that and Tiffany winning this whole damn thing and continuing a thing with Sharmell out of it. Like, there was a lot of that in my mind going into it. Like, this is a way they could have gone with this. But Monica gets the big win. She gets the championship. I'll also say they needed to do more pomp and circumstance. She gets the win. This show had 1 minute and 30 seconds after she got that pinfall. Like, she got to celebrate for like a minute. And then they're like pulling up the logo of the Sherri Martel Classic and it's done. And I'm like, fuck?
I really wanted Sharmell to give her the title, put her on her waist, do the whole confetti or firework thing, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I thought the same thing. It's like, how is she getting to the turnbuckle to celebrate? They're already telling her to get down. I'm like, she really just got there. She barely had any time to celebrate. I wish it would have done like a whole celebration for her. Maybe a future episode they would do that, but it still was like that was a good moment to do that here at the end.
And again, I would have done Holly J if she were there that weekend, even just coming out the rampway and holding the championship up, and then Monica can hold up her title, and it like you can get into that thing about, you know, who's it going to be? This is what we're setting up. And again, I know that's WWE of me, like that's what WWE does, but that's also honestly what any good promotion does is you set up your next match. You make sure when people are leaving your show, you make sure you're setting up the next big story. And her just getting a minute to celebrate really didn't do that. It really did a disservice to her. Please go follow a bunch of these people on Twitter. There are some really great people. Follow Reality Wrestling on Twitter. They're really good on their Twitter. Their social media guy loves to retweet when I bash Booker T, which is great because is what it is. Reality Wrestling you can find. The Official Row on Twitter. You can find them on YouTube at Reality of Wrestling. You can find us here at Ole Podcast and at our local establishment and all the fine places you can go. Astrid, tell the good people where they can find you coming up in the near future. I know it's going to be an exhaustive list of taking over.
No. You can find me on my Twitter, Blue Skies, Astrid Pizarro, and my Instagram and Threads, Astrid Pizarro 20. And if you're here, you're most likely on my YouTube channel. So please consider subscribing and hit the bell to be notified when I upload or go live. My Rumble video finally hit 2,000 views almost 2 years after. So, yeah, that was great. So, yeah, anything like that will be really appreciated.
You can, of course, find me in all the places. It doesn't matter. This week, you can find me I will not be there from Point of View, but they'll be talking about me because I am in the fantasy championship game now, taking on the empress of our local establishment, Peggy, as she took down that fool Bobby Munson. He was crowing about how he was going to be in the championship final. And then Lamar Jackson got hurt and he lost. And I held out just enough to hold on against Andre. So I got the big win. It was going to be me versus Peggy in the finals of the fantasy football tournament. Very excited for that. I'm also leading in the pick'ems as of right now. So I'm doing really good on the football aspect of Point of View. But you can catch the boys this Sunday. And, of course, you can catch us this next week as we're going to be going back to LaSalle, Illinois for the other half of our two-part weekend. Next week, it'll be our final show of 2025. And we're going to be talking Good as Gold from the men's side. It's got some sensational matches, including a first blood match. It's got the 30-man battle royal for the Good as Gold contract. It's also got a tag team match involving Lainey Luck, Shaza McKenzie. I believe Rebecca J. Scott is teaming with Megan Bain in that match. So all kinds of good stuff going on that show. Cannot wait to talk about Dreamwave, Good as Gold. We love going to LaSalle, Illinois to talk about that. And again, remember, 2026 is going to be a big year. We've got some things in the works with a certain promotion, so we're excited for that. You'll be seeing that come late January, early February. We'll be talking a bit about that thing. We're hopefully going to be doing some interviews this year on the independent side of wrestling as we go ahead and push taking over into a bit of a different direction. Tuesday nights will be reserved for the review shows, but during other parts of the week, we might be dropping taking over interviews with some of the talent that we talk about on these shows. So look forward to stuff like that in the new year. Astrid, it's been a great 2025. We got one more time to do this. But I'm going to let you get to the family stuff because they're beating down the door already, as I hear. So I've been OLED Ed Fries. This has been Astrid Bizarro. We have taken over reality of wrestling, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
I am in misery.